Hi GQ, I'm Emma Corrin and today I'm going undercover on the internet. It's actually me. Let's check X. OMG, Emma Corrin is in the new Deadpool? ? That's a major contrast to their normal roles. I wonder what drew them to it. Money. No, I'm joking. I think probably because it is a major contrast to my normal roles, and I always wanted to play a villain. And then Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Ryan improvs the entire time. And it was kind of like a masterclass in that kind of comedy and that kind of genre of film, which I hadn't really done before. Yeah, what's not to love? Replied. All right, let's see some YouTube comments. Can we have another series with Josh and Emma, but with a happy ending? Their chemistry is palpable. That's very sweet. I love Josh, and I would love to do something with him again. I think we had like 1 or 2 scenes during the series where Dana and Charles are meant to kiss. And I remember by that point, Josh and I were such good friends. It was so weird, and I think both of us just kept laughing throughout the entire thing, so it never made it in to the series. Posted. Why does this look like the exact book Taylor Swift must have based Ivy off of? Well, if it is, then I will say that Taylor's got great taste in books, because it's a brilliant read. It's crazy. If you haven't read it, read it. It's hot. Replied. How do you do a chemistry test for 2 actors when the characters are meant to not have chemistry? That is a great question, also because Olivia Colman is the loveliest person. We didn't do a chemistry test, me and Olivia. I think I first met her at one of the read-throughs and we played ping pong. But I remember it was funny because filming those scenes, those standoffs between Diana and the Queen, Olivia would like really quickly snap into character. She'd be sort of like laughing, bubbly, her usual self, and then suddenly it would be like, oh my God, it'd be terrifying. Always caught me off guard. Next. Oh God, why on earth did they chop off such an important event from Diana's life in the show? Especially when these lyrics reverberate what she actually wanted in her life. How spectacularly performed by Emma Corrin. That's very sweet. I remember we recorded the whole song and it was cool because we recorded it on the actual stage of Phantom of the Opera, I think, which was amazing. It's like the closest I've ever got to living out my musical dreams. But yeah, it is true. The lyrics reverberated a lot with what she wanted in her life. Reddit. Virginia Woolf wrote Orlando after visiting Vita Sackville West at Knoll Castle in Kent. Since Emma grew up in the area, I wonder if they ever visited the castle and whether it had any bearing on the performance in Orlando on the West End. This is a really lovely question because I actually grew up like 5 minutes from Knoll Castle. There was like this back entrance with this sort of fallen down wall and me and my brothers could like run into the big park. And I remember once I did a wee in the grass, but it was actually a patch of nettles and I got stung all over my bum. That didn't really come into my performance in Orlando particularly. Posted. What can we expect from the new Nosferatu? It's Robert Eggers, so it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be classic. It's scary as hell and very disturbing. I didn't have any nightmares, but it's the last time I think I want to hang out with rats in that way. Next. Emma Corrin trained as a singer. Would they consider taking any musical roles on in the West End? Yes. Yeah, please. Deadpool and Wolverine is Emma Corrin's first action film? ? Emma Corrin, did you have to undergo any physical training for the role? This is funny because I did ask if I could have a personal trainer and they said no, because they said I don't have to undergo any physical training. I was so ready to undergo like a huge transformation, but they were like, that's absolutely not required of you. Please stand down. I tried. Instagram. Yes, a gorgeous picture of me there. What sets Murder at the End of the World apart from other television series you've been a part of? My hair is pink. And also locations. We filmed in Iceland, then we filmed in New Jersey, and then we finished in Utah. They also do this thing in Iceland where if you're staying in a hotel, you can opt to have them wake you up during the night if the northern lights come out, which is kind of cool. That happened to us, and we got this panic knock on your door saying, wake up, wake up. And that's cool. Posted. Sinead O'Connor biopic. That's very funny. Yes. I mean, no. But I understand why, because of my shaved head. That is a huge compliment to whoever said that. Thank you very much. Back to X. Has Emma Corrin been to a Wrexham AFC game with Ryan Reynolds yet? Yes, I have actually. I think I ended up spending most of the time playing games with his kid more than watching the football. I remember they won, and I attributed that to my being there. And I think Ryan agreed. Replied. And time to fact check Wikipedia. In 2022, they became Vogue magazine's first non-binary cover star. Yeah, which I'm very proud of. It felt like a huge honour and also a big responsibility, which was very cool. I owe a lot to Vogue for honouring my identity while shooting that cover, and it was so cool to work with Jamie Hawksworth, who shot the cover. I think his work is incredible. Next. They also featured on 6 tracks on Little Sim's 2021 album Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. Yeah. Which I've got to say, out of all the things I've been lucky enough to do over recent years, that is one of my favourites. And performing at the Brits was the maddest and the most terrifying experience of my life. I don't know how people do that. And I know it's kind of similar to theatre, but it's actually really not. I thought I was going to trip and fall and, oh God, terrible. Posted. Now on to Quora. Is there another iconic literary character they could see themselves cast as or would like to play? Ooh. There are so many good ones. I would love to do an adaptation of Mrs. Dalloway, that other Virginia Woolf novel. I know they did The Hours, the Meryl Streep one. But I feel like no one's done a recent adaptation of Mrs. Dalloway, and that would be cool to do when I'm older. Yeah. Why is Princess Diana so hard to get right on screen? It's hard because she's so beloved and people feel very much as if they know her, which is very understandable because that's sort of the energy that she put out into the world. I guess it's hard because it's a big responsibility to take on. Posted. How does Robert Eggers' approach to horror differ from other filmmakers in the genre? It's a great question. It's his attention to detail and his world building, I think, that is so incredible. TikTok. Could they please record the whole book? That would be long, but I would be up for it, I think. Would people really want that? Be sexy, I suppose. Okay, that's it. I'm signing off the internet.